Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kristen and today I'm going to film for you a very exciting video for me because it's a collab with my friend Abbie here on YouTube. Her YouTube channel is Make Life Your Runway. It's also her Instagram handle. And so I had approached Abbie with the idea for this collab because we've been talking about doing one for forever and we hadn't gotten together and gotten one done yet. So I had seen some people taking their everyday palettes, eyeshadows, things that they have in their collection and putting together their ideal Valentine's Day palette. And I just thought that would be the coolest idea for a collab, and I thought it would be neat to be able to see what different stuff that we could come up with in our collection. So when I first approached Abbie about it, she was like, girl, I am too busy. I am working on another palette right now and I have no idea what I have in my collection for Valentine's Day themed eyeshadows or something that I would put together for a Valentine's Day palette. But then she said, you know what, let's just do it. It sounds fun and it gets you out of your comfort zone, or get you out of your box, really, not necessarily so much your comfort zone, but if you've watched Abbie's video, which I already have, then you'll know that she went out of her normal comfort zone, which was really cool and pretty much the idea of this collab. So I am getting this video up late. My boyfriend actually had emergency surgery last night and I intended to film it last night and wasn't able to. So so you're getting me completely frazzled, not prepared for this. I had gone down to be with him when he had surgery, went to work today, stopped by my apartment so that I could film this for you guys, and I didn't even bring everything with me. I had the shadows, but a couple of them are from palettes that I popped out, and I would have liked to have had those palettes with me, but I'll go ahead and insert some pictures of those. Abbie's video was way more in depth than I think I had planned to go, and definitely with me being frazzled in this emergency and my camera battery is about to die, it's definitely not going to be what Abbie's video was, but either way, we're going to go ahead and get into this. So I went through all of my palettes and I have a ton of pink shadows. But I just started swatching things. I do have a picture and a little boomerang to insert here for the shadows that I did end up choosing and what I thought looked really cute together for a color palette. And I did not film a look or a tutorial or anything like that because I just don't feel like I'm set up well enough to do that yet. And I might be completely washed out right now. I've been trying to mess with the lighting. This is the first time I've really been able to film during full daylight, so I'm trying not to use my ring light at all. So I really hope this comes out, and I'm sorry if it doesn't, but I am going to post over on Instagram. Probably just a post. I might put something in the stories, but I'm not going to do a full-on video in stories. I don't think I plan to. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. What I did end up choosing actually came out of 3 different palettes, and then I do have one pigment mix that I had just recently made that I thought was really pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and basically I have all of my shadows in this little Z palette here. So this is the little palette that I've put together for myself. These colors are super cohesive to me. What I did when I put together my palette, Abbie picked out a transition shade and a brow bone shade, but I have some things that I'm working on in my projects that I felt would fit the bill for that, and I didn't really necessarily have to have them in this palette. I wasn't trying to build my favorite everyday palette or palette that I didn't have to go into something else to get, but rather just my perfect palette of shades that I would use for a Valentine's Day look or something like that. So the majority of these are ColourPop shadows. We did decide to do an 8-pan, but a couple of shadows that I have are in a palette that I can't depot them from. You know, ColourPop's shadows are magnetic, so I just popped these out and just threw them in here. So these 2 shades right here are 2 matte shades, and they are the shades, I'll have to look. I did look this up because like I said, I don't have that palette with me. Let's see. Okay, so this is the shade Applejack. This is the shade Sky Dancer. And this is the shade Misty. And actually all three of this top row came from the ColourPop My Little Pony palette. This shade right here is ColourPop's Adventure, and this came from the Frozen Anna palette. This is a mix of MAC Vanilla, Rose, and Melon pigments that I put together, and I absolutely love this shadow, and I've used it a ton. So that's what I have on my eyes today, with a couple more shadows that I have picked out for this Perfect Valentine's palette. The next two shades, the last two shades, come from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezi palette, or Amrezi, or whatever she goes by. And those are the shades, I'm going to try not to blind you. Those are the shades right here in Cupcake and in Resi. So a purple and a pink shade. So this purple is fairly similar to the Sky Dancer shade from ColourPop, but they are just different enough. It has this unique, like, goldish quality to it, and it's really, really pretty. And then this shade Resi, which I actually have on my lids today as well. I have ColourPop's Anna, or Adventure from the Anna palette in my outer corner. And then underneath my eye, I do have that purple shade from the ColourPop palette called Sky Dancer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and insert all the looks that I've got from these colors in the last week that I've been wearing these shadows. I've actually kind of neglected the two other palettes that I was working on for the last 2 weeks. But then again, I kind of incorporated them into some of my looks as well. But I had a really good time putting this together. I had so much fun, and I'm so glad that Abbie did this with me. I am so inspired by the looks that she came up with. When she told me she was going to do like a pink smoky eye, because that's what she couldn't get out of her head, I was so excited to see what she did. I thought about maybe doing the same myself, or maybe incorporating a black or something, but I do have that darker purple shade that I felt like could give me that kind of effect. And this was about like what was a perfect Valentine's Day palette for us. So I'm so glad that ours were completely different. I had shown Abbie the colors that I had chosen, so she knew when she filmed her video that I had gone in a completely different direction than her. And actually, you know, different in the fact that we each didn't put together a full complete palette. She did with the transition shade and the brow bone shade, but I just grabbed some shades that I thought would look really pretty together, and you know, use a different palette on the side for those brow bone and transition type shades. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and swatch these shades right now. Even though I'm going to insert that picture at the beginning, you can see what they look like here live and in person. And I'm going to go ahead and, well, I did this completely ass backwards. I am no Tara babies, let me tell you what. So these are...